For what it's worth, according to Wikipedia, 72,000 people per year die on this planet from appendicitis. Itis being an inflammation. If you suspect appendicitis, get to a medical facility. Each year here in the USA, about 300,000 appendixes are surgically removed, and it appears that on average about 1 death per day happens in the USA due to appendicitis. The appendix is, roughly the size of our small pinky finger. Doesn't seem to serve any purpose any longer. There's a lot of debate about what it is even doing there. But the main point of this video is to learn what appendicitis is trying to tell us and to prevent being harmed by appendicitis. Typically when surgeons go in to deal with appendicitis, what they find is a blockage in the appendix. It's a hard piece of fecal matter. Typically it's described as a calcified fecal deposit. Appendicitis being an acute problem means that perhaps there really is no peer-reviewed science linking the connection between diet and the problem. Appendicitis is so common that I'd hope that perhaps Dr. Greger with nutritionfacts.org would put together a blog or a video on the matter, but so far I haven't seen anything. About 5 years ago, an expert in plant-based nutrition told me that my appendicitis, maybe 15 years ago or so, was most likely due to what was then my standard American diet, heavy on junk food, meat, eggs, and dairy. However, it's not easy to find science to back that logical conclusion. About 9 years ago, I did a 10-day master cleanse fast. 8 days or so into that, I did a saltwater flush. Sort of a nasty process, but what came out kind of looked like chunks of blacktop. I presume that something like that is what gets trapped in the appendix and blocks that, which causes it to get inflamed with pus, and eventually it explodes and spews toxins into the abdomen. We do know that a lack of fiber in the diet is extremely highly correlated to appendicitis. Worth noting, of course, meat, eggs, and dairy have absolutely zero fiber and are also highly associated with constipation, which is of course common with associated with appendicitis. Another key factor in appendicitis seems to be poor hydration. So obviously plant-based foods are high in fiber, and whole plant-based foods are relatively high in water content. So theoretically a whole foods, all plant-based diet seems to be the ideal nourishment plan to probably prevent appendicitis. A brief search online for natural solutions to appendicitis showed the alleged solutions were just overwhelmingly plant-based food sources, mint, ginger, etc., fruits, vegetables. I can't help but wonder if lifelong vegans have ever been polled and asked about the incidence of appendicitis relative to the general population. You probably won't hear it from any medical professionals if you're in for appendicitis, but it appears that like virtually all chronic health problems, a whole foods, a realistic intake of whole foods, all plant-based, will prevent or even heal those problems. If you feel like asking around to anybody who you know who's on a plant-based diet, vegan, you probably won't find any that have constipation issues. The diet is nutritionally complete and high in water content. There's really no downside risk. I take a B12 supplement as an insurance. I'm 5 years into exclusively consuming plants, 53 years old now, and this year I ran 3 100-mile races, injury-free, problem-free. So it works. What are you waiting for?